If you don't get this under control, we may lose Eternia.
Good people.
Masters of the Universe, the live-action film version of the He-Man Eternia franchise. Newsweek target release date, United States theatrical, June 5th, 2026. Production status, in production, as of 2025. Studios, production, Amazon MGM Studios and Mattel Films. Writer-director, directed by Travis Knight, screenplay by Chris Butler, based on earlier drafts by others. Cast, major roles. Here are the key cast members as publicly confirmed: Nicholas Galitzine as Prince Adam, He-Man; Camila Mendez as Teela; Captain of the Guard, Idris Elba as Man-at-Arms, Duncan; Jared Leto as Keldor, Skeletor, the villain; Alison Brie as Evil Lynn Morena Baccarin as the Sorceress of Castle Grayskull. Overview, just plot summary. Here is the plot as currently described by the studio and public sources. In the furthest regions of space, the kingdom of Eternia is threatened by the villainous Skeletor and his armies of darkness. Young Prince Adam must retrieve a mythical power sword, become the fabled warrior known as He-Man, and defend his father's kingdom and all those he holds dear, more specifically. The movie begins with a young Prince Adam on planet Eternia, who, at about age 10, crash lands on Earth and loses the mystical power sword of Grayskull. Decades later, he returns to Eternia, reclaims the sword, becomes He-Man, and battles Skeletor's forces for the fate of his home. Additional production, notes and context. The project has been in development for many years, with various versions, studios, and casting changes. The original toy line by Mattel and the 1980s animated series, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, serve as the foundation for the film. Cinema blend. The film aims to modernize the mythos of He-Man and Eternia while retaining the core elements: the Power Sword, Prince Adam, Skeletor, and the battle for Eternia. Because the release is set for 2026, many plot details remain under wraps, and full script or fine-grained story beats haven't been publicly released. Release date, June 5th, 2026, U.S. theatrical, Cinema Blend +2 W Wikipedia +2 Director, Travis Knight Wikipedia +1 Screenplay. By Chris Butler, with earlier drafts by David Callahan, Aaron and Adam Nee, He-Man. Fandom.com +2 Cinema Blend +2 based on The Masters of the Universe, toy line, animated series from Mattel, He-Man franchise. The Direct +1 cast, major roles, Nicholas Galitzine as Prince Adam, He-Man. Wikipedia +2 Cinema Blend +2 Camila Mendez as Teela, Captain of the Royal Guard. The Direct +1 Idris Elba as Man-at-Arms, Duncan. The Direct +1 Jared Leto as Keldor, Skeletor. Wikipedia +1 Alison Brie as Evil Lynn. The Direct +1 Morena Baccarin as the Sorceress of Castle Grayskull. Stanisland. Magazine +1. Plot, overview yeah. फिल्म एक ओरिजिन स्टोरी है जिसमें प्रिंस एडम, जो आगे चल के ही-मैन बनेगा, का सफर दिखाया गया है. Newsweek +2 Wikipedia +2 synopsis. Short. On the fringes of space, the kingdom of Eternia is threatened by the villainous Skeletor and his armies of darkness. To save his father's kingdom and protect the lives of those he holds dear, young Prince Adam must retrieve a mythical sword and become the fabled warrior known as He-Man. Meanwhile, he has a lost childhood on Earth, separated from the Sword of Power. Newsweek +1 key plot points. Prince Adam as a child, age 10, crash lands on Earth, separated from his ancestral power sword. Wikipedia. Years later, he returns to his home planet Eternia, reclaims the sword, assumes the mantle of He-Man, and must battle Skeletor to defend Eternia. He-Man.fandom.com +1 supporting characters like Teela, Man-at-Arms, Evil Lynn, the Sorceress, all play significant roles in the conflict between good and evil. Additional production, background notes, the franchise has had multiple attempts at live-action adaptation. This one is the one currently in production, by Amazon MGM Studios and Mattel. Wikipedia +1, the film appears to be taking some creative liberties compared to classic He-Man lore, for example, Earth crash landing, etc. The Direct +1, the toy line origin. The original He-Man toys launched 1982, then the animated series 1983-85. Cinema Blend +1. Why this movie seems promising. The cast is high-profile and experienced. Nicholas Galitzine, Idris Elba, Jared Leto, etc. Director Travis Knight has prior experience, e.g., his film Bumblebee, and the story has strong nostalgic appeal. The production is backed by Mattel, which has shown commitment after the success of other toy-based films, e.g., their Barbie success. The reimagining of He-Man's origin gives fresh terrain even for fans familiar with the old lore. The visuals, world-building, and fantasy elements, Eternia, Castle Grayskull, Sword of Power, have built-in audience appeal for both fans and new viewers. Cast, key roles. Here are the major cast members and their roles. Nicholas Galitzine as Prince Adam, He-Man. Camila Mendes as Tila, Jared Leto as Skeletor, Alison Brie as Evil Lynn. Idris Elba as Man-at-Arms, Duncan, though role name may vary. Morena Baccarin as the Sorceress. James Purefoy as King Randor, Charlotte Riley as Queen Marlena. Additional villains, henchmen, Sam C. Wilson as Trapjaw, Kojo Atta as Triclops, Hafthor Bjornsson as Goatman. Plot. Overview. The story has been described in broad strokes. The film is a new origin story for He-Man. As a 10-year-old, Prince Adam crashes on Earth, his mother's home planet, and is separated from the power sword of Grayskull. Decades later, he recovers the sword, returns to his home world of Eternia, and must embrace his destiny as He-Man to defend Eternia from the evil work of Skeletor. The synopsis from sources. In furthest regions of space, the kingdom of Eternia is threatened by the villainous Skeletor and his mischievous armies of darkness. To save his father's kingdom and protect the lives of those he holds dear, young Prince Adam has to retrieve a mythical sword and become the fabled warrior only known as He-Man, one of the distinctions of this version. It places part of Adam's backstory on Earth, and he's been apart from Eternia for a significant period. The story likely includes elements of self-discovery, Adam learning about his past, heroic transformation, becoming He-Man, and a big confrontation between good, He-Man plus allies, and evil, Skeletor plus minions, over the fate of Eternia. Why this? Project matters. What's new? The franchise is beloved. The original toy line launched in the early 1980s. The animated series, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, ran 1983-85, and there was a live-action film in 1987. This latest film is a major studio reboot with high-profile cast and production value. The inclusion of Earth in the origin story is new, or at least re-emphasized, compared to earlier versions. The director Travis Knight has a strong track record of blending visual spectacle with character work. E.g., Bumblebee, Kubo, and the Two Strings. The film is important for fans of the franchise, and for studios, it is a major intellectual property investment from Mattel. Known production, development details. Development has been long and complicated. Prior versions of the film had different directors, studios, and leads, before the current version landed at Amazon, MGM, and Mattel. Principal photography reportedly wrapped around mid-2025. Budget is reported around $100 million.